Segment scale allows you to scale edges or segments, and if you select this edge right here, it's calling this edge a segment. Okay, it allows you to scale along a segment and scale a segment or an edge based on point selection. Now, it's based on point selection, although it does work in polygon, edge, and point mode. We can go ahead and take a look. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start just by selecting, and I am going to point out that I'm selecting this point first and this point second because we have control over the first and second point. So I'm going to go over to Modify, Segment Scale. It draws a blue guideline between the 2 points. Now I'm saying blue, that's by default. If you change in your display options, if you change your tool color, it's going to be that color. Okay, so if I were to left click and drag, I'm scaling that edge along the edge, so the segment. So I'm scaling, those 2 points are getting closer as I click and drag, but the thing to note is that they're moving along that edge. Okay, now this is by default. They're both moving by default. If I hit N for numeric, I can numerically enter the amount of scale, okay, but you can interactively move it in the viewport. But for scale type, right now it's set to centered. If I say side 1 only, it's going to move the first point that I selected. It's only going to move that one. So that can be a good way to bring that 1 point in. I can do side 2 only and just adjust this. Now the selection order has to do with multiple selections. So if I were to say lasso select these points and use segment scale, first to second, that's saying find pairs. So see, it found pairs for me. If I set it to first last, it's going to go with the loop order, and that might not give you the result you're after. Okay, if I were to grab polygons, it'll still work, but it's still based off of point, so it does the loop order. I'm going to go to second, and we can do pairs this way. Okay, if I want that centered, I'll go over to scale type, choose center, and I can work this way. Now you can work on multiple selections, so what I'm going to do is grab all the points except the poles. I'm going to stay away from the triangles because I'll get undesirable results with those poles. And so with all of these points selected, it's going to look at all the edges. So let's go to segment scale, and I can scale all of those in. So each pair is looking at its own segment for how it should scale those points in. Okay? So you don't have to, it's not going to just read one segment for all the points. So remember, you can work in point, edge, and polygon mode, although it's really looking for a group of points, or even just a pair of points, but a group of points is what it's looking for. So if you select an edge or polygons, it's just reading the points that make up that selection. And as always, don't forget that every tool has numeric options that you're going to want to check out because it could drastically change the way the tool works. So that's just a quick look at segment scale.